hopefully we will stay in touch with you. Beth Benike, very best to you. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's get more on this. I'm joined now by Dr. Julie Yu Jie, Senior Research Fellow on China at the Asia Pacific Programme at the think tank Chatham House. Thank you for being with us. From what we've seen, I know we haven't had a huge amount of detail that's been announced. What do you make of it?
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I think, what do I make of it? It remains to be very vague, like how much both sides have achieved after 2 days very intensive talk, firstly. And secondly, I think what we had in here is all these lower hanging fruits, for example, reducing tariffs and those things has been discussed in the past. So I think we're now just on the very beginning of that very lengthy negotiation process between Beijing and Washington. So I'm expecting a much further back and forth in the next few months.
Are you clear as to whether the tariffs are paused or whether they're going to start now, because there was a 90-day pause?
Well, it sounds like they are back on track with certain mechanisms, but the problem is we don't know what that mechanism is. So I can only do the guessing game in here is that I think both sides will have to go back to their capitals and asking for green light from the top leaders, and then they can publish on what kind of mechanism they have in place.
And the US has been very much in need of the rare earth that China has a huge monopoly on the supply of. I mean, how surprising was it that Donald Trump picked this fight, given they're so dependent on that export? And what do you think China's position on this is going to be now?
Well, we're not quite sure, but I think China chose very carefully and who to loosen this control of rare earth export. For example, Beijing seems to be more friendly towards European Union, and especially for European companies for now, regarding the rare earth supply. But I think on the other hand, they still remain very tightly controlled towards US companies. I think this is also partially to do with negotiation criteria that Beijing would prefer to have. That is to ask United States to remove certain restrictions on high-end chips import from United States. So if United States do not offer China that, and I think Beijing will continue to hold very tightly over the rare earth export control.
And in terms of who was at these talks, we saw Howard Lutnick was there, the Commerce Secretary. What about the Chinese delegation? Was it at the same level of seniority? And what does that tell us?
Well, it's exactly the same level of seniority. So we have the person who lead the delegation is Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng, and who is a close confidant with the Chinese President Xi. And he is the one in charge of the overall China's economic policy. So he has the equivalent Scott Bessent. And then we also had the Chinese Commerce Minister, again, very capable administrator for the commerce issues. And then together with a legal background, Chief Negotiator Li Chenggang. So I think it's really tit for tat, 3 visits 3 in this case.
Dr. Yu Jie, thank you very much for being with us there from Chatham House.
Thank you.